Imagine that in one family. The grandpa built the first true pyramid ever. His son built the biggest pyramid ever, and then the grandson built the Sphinx. Imagine that. Like in my family, I have a quilt from my grandma, and that's about it. But these guys, imagine all those great monuments they built. And almost 5,000 years later, people are still coming to look at the works they did. Welcome to La Cometa Travel. I'm here in Dahchour, and we're gonna explore some pyramids. We've got the Red Pyramid here. Behind me, we have the Bent Pyramid. And off in the distance, we have the Black Pyramid. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about all three today, and we're gonna have a lot of fun exploring them. So I hope you enjoy it. So I'm here pretty close to Giza, and behind me I have what's called the Bent Pyramid. And it's called that because if you look at the corner here, it's not a straight line. They realized about 60% of the way up that they had made a mistake, so they changed the angle. It ended up looking like this, and if you actually look at the smooth wall, all the pyramids were covered with that originally, but the Great Pyramid in Giza and then all the other ones, they don't have it anymore. This one has most of it intact, so it's really great because of that. And it's their first attempt to build a true pyramid. They built step pyramids previously, and because this didn't turn out perfect, the king decided he didn't want to use it. So he ordered them to build another one, which you can see on my left or your right. It's over there. It's known as the Red Pyramid. So this pyramid behind me, there's nobody inside of it. It was never used. I think it's amazing they made that mistake, and it was such a huge project, but they decided to just scrap it and build another one. It really just shows how wealthy they were and how they could get so many workers organized on their projects. It's older than the Great Pyramid of Giza, but only by a little bit, because this was built by the father of the king that built the Great Pyramid. So it's older, but just by a little. It was built around 2650 BC. And if you look, in front of me or behind you, we have another pyramid. This one is called the Black Pyramid. It doesn't look very good. That's because it's made out of mud and it's really deteriorated. And since it's made out of mud, you might be thinking it's a lot older than these other pyramids, but it's actually about 800 years newer. And just the empire was in decline, so they just didn't have the resources to build another one of these huge ones. So it's pretty impressive. You can really see, how rich they were early on and the decline they went into later. Now we're inside of the Bent Pyramid. We're gonna go to the top, to the burial chamber, which was, never used, but anytime you have the chance to go inside one of the pyramids in Egypt, you gotta take the opportunity. Right now we're going down a very small tunnel. It's maybe 3 feet high, and it's about 60 meters long going down, which is about 60 yards. I can barely see the bottom of it, and once we get down to the bottom, then it's all uphill to the top of the pyramid. All right, so we finally made it to the bottom of the long tunnel. And I don't know why they built it like this, because we have to go to the top, and it looks pretty far. It's pretty wild down here. If you see here, there's a bunch of dead bats lying around. There's one, and there's like 6 or 7 more here off to the side. So I don't know, maybe we're gonna find some living ones on the way up, who knows? But yeah, it's a pretty interesting experience, and I'm enjoying it so far, and I'll see you further up. So we're still going up. We found a level platform here, and see more stairs going up behind me. Still don't know how much further it is, but it's really amazing being inside this pyramid. It's getting to the point where I would not be surprised if a mummy came out of one of these places and attacked me. And we have there's actually some graffiti here, and it says discovered October 2018 something. I can't read all of it. It's, less than 200 years ago they came into this, or at least archaeologists came into it. Tomb Raiders probably came earlier. And according to our guide, this only opened in 2017. So it's only been about 4 years since tourists could come up here and explore the Bent Pyramid. And now we're going to continue, and we'll see you in the tomb. Here we are. We're at the top of the Bent Pyramid. We're inside the tomb. As I mentioned earlier, because the pyramid was not perfect, the king decided not to use it. So the tomb, which you can see more of here, it was never used. So tomb raiders did come in the past, and they left disappointed because there was nothing to steal. Although I'm pretty tired, so there's a chance that after almost 5,000 years of existence, this might end up being my tomb if I can't make it out of here. We'll see. Now I'm here in front of the pyramid. It's known as the Red Pyramid. As I said before, it's the same king that built the Bent Pyramid, but this time the pyramid came out just right, so he decided to have his tomb here. The king was named King Senefru, and his son, Cheops, built the Great Pyramid in Giza, the largest one ever. And then his grandson, Khephren, built the second largest pyramid right next to the Great Pyramid, and he also built the Sphinx. And the reason this is called the Red Pyramid is it's limestone, but it has a red tint to it, which you can't really see here on the outside. But on the inside, where we're gonna go right now, you can still see some of the red color, and that's why it has the name Red Pyramid. All right, you can see the red color here on this limestone, and that's why it's called the Red Pyramid. There's only a couple spots where you can see this. Most of this color has been lost to the sands of time. But here's one small area, you can see it. So here we are inside the Red Pyramid. It's got a really great echo. And you might be wondering why I'm wearing sunglasses inside of a dark pyramid. And that's because they're prescription, and I forgot to switch to my normal glasses before we came in. If you look up at the ceiling, it's pretty interesting the way it's like a really steep ceiling, steps, and we're working our way towards the burial chamber. As I mentioned before, the Bent Pyramid wasn't perfect, so the king didn't want to be buried there. This one is perfect. So when we make it to the tomb, it will be a tomb that was actually used. So this was the second true pyramid they built. The first one didn't work out. And I mean, if you look at the stonework here, you can look how perfect it is. The inside of the other one wasn't nearly this perfect. This is almost flawless, perfect 90-degree angles. So, the first one didn't work out, but they say, if at first you don't succeed, try again, and this one really looks pretty flawless on the inside here. Here we are, we're inside the tomb of King Senefru. He's the founder of the 4th dynasty, which is the dynasty that built the entire pyramid complex at Giza. The founder of some of the greatest builders history has ever known, and it's pretty plain. The tomb got raided, but still, we're inside a huge pyramid, and it's just amazing to be here. We're in the body of this
great king once was.
And he was actually known as a great king. He took care of his people. His son, Cheops, who built the Great Pyramid, was not loved. He killed many people. But I guess that's pretty normal. You have a great king and then his son isn't so great. So we're all done here at Dashur. It was really amazing. I mean, it's not as spectacular as the pyramid complex in Giza, because there you have the Great Pyramid, which is like the biggest ever, and you've got the Sphinx. But there's amazing Egyptian monuments here, and one thing that made it really special is we've been here for several hours, and I've only saw like 2 other groups of tourists, and they were small. So, you know, you feel like you're exploring it, and you have it all to yourself, and you're really in the middle of nowhere. You just, nothing but desert. It's really how you imagine that the pyramids should be. And yeah, I've loved every minute of it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time from somewhere else. I don't know where yet, but probably right here in Egypt. Ciao.